Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. If you want more NFL content, possibly even more sports content when this NBA season starts back up, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, do all that stuff you got to do. If you're feeling a little, if you're feeling a little froggy, go ahead and click that notification bell. That's only for those. It's only for the VIPs. So only click that if you're looking for something. If you're looking for something real. But anyway, Devontae Parker, I think he's a really good receiver. And Michael Thomas absolutely destroyed him on Twitter. I mean, where does he get off just talking like that to somebody? Michael Thomas just unnecessarily just intervened in his discussion, and ever since then he's just been going off, and the dude seems really sensitive, and I don't understand it. But anyway, Michael Thomas is good. He had 144 catches, 1,700 yards, 9 touchdowns. You would expect more touchdowns, but that's not my business. Michael Thomas is good. He's really good. But, he's getting forced the football. He's getting forced the ball. And you got people like Julio who had 90-something catches, who's better than him. Odell, in my opinion, is better than him. And I'm a Giants fan, and Odell is gone, and I still understand that he's a top-flight receiver. Michael Thomas is good at running his routes, getting open. That's fine. But he's not the best in the league. He's got the stats, but he's not the best in the league. He's getting forced the ball. He's getting forced the ball. Who's the other weapon? Besides Alvin Kamara, who's a running back, who's the other receiving weapon in New Orleans? He's getting forced the football. Like I said, he's definitely top 5. But he's getting forced the ball. Deandre Hopkins, in my opinion, is top 2-3 receiver in the league. And he's not better than him. He's a better route runner. They both have great hands. But DeAndre Hopkins gives you that extra factor. You can just throw it up and he's going to come down with it. Same thing with Odell. You can throw that ball up and he's going to come down with it. That's what's wrong with Baker Mayfield, is that he's waiting for Odell to get, 6 yards of separation like it's college to throw him the ball. That's what makes him great, is that he can make those contested catches consistently and take those and go to the house with them. But Michael Thomas is just going crazy. Who gets that sensitive over Devontae Parker feeling, saying he can make a catch on Stephon Gilmore? The dude is just sensitive. But Michael Thomas he's really good, but I don't see it. I don't see how he's the best receiver in the league. You have Julio, you have Odell. When Antonio Brown comes back, Antonio Brown is basically a better version of Michael Thomas. If someone was forcing that guy the ball like they do this dude gets forced the football so much. It's all the time. There's nobody else to throw it to. So, he's probably getting bracketed and all of that, but he's getting forced the ball. Screens, short routes, slants, comebacks, anything he can do, and he only had 9 touchdowns. So I don't understand why he's so sensitive about this. I don't understand why he's so overconfident to where he just thinks he's just in this other category that no one else is in. But like I said, you have Julio, you have AB, you have Odell, you have DeAndre Hopkins. I saw Fitz Vegas' video earlier today, or yesterday, or something like that, and he was saying DeAndre Hopkins was in the same category. I don't know what he was talking about. DeAndre Hopkins is not a possession receiver. DeAndre Hopkins regularly makes those catches that are down the field. But I don't think he's better than those guys, because if you give Julio Drew Brees and that offense to where he's getting that many targets, I think that's dangerous. and I think that's 2,000 yards, to be honest with you. I'd put him right after DeAndre Hopkins, but he's not that guy that's just going to break the game. Odell, he can win you a game. Julio can win you a game. He almost won the Falcons the Super Bowl. If not for Kyle Shanahan and Matt Ryan taking that sack and the defense. But these guys can win you games. And Michael Thomas obviously hasn't been able to do enough to win his team games in the playoffs. And I don't really notice the difference, as far as if you put somebody else in there, I think they're doing the same thing. Someone else, in that range, not just anybody, but if you put Julio there, I think he has more yards. Julio obviously has that thing where he doesn't get in the end zone for some reason, but I think he'd have 2,000 yards in the Saints offense. I think Odell would have 1,800, 1,900 yards in the Saints offense if you just are throwing it to him. I mean, let's not make things up. He's the only guy there. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Like I said, sports are really slow right now. I'm going to try to get out a couple videos the next couple of days. But it's really a waiting game, waiting for this NBA season next month or end of July. And hopefully this NFL season can start on time. It's just exhausting, waiting for all of this stuff. And like I said, hopefully the NFL starts on time. They're talking full stadiums. That's absolutely ridiculous. But we'll see. Maybe have celebrity fans, for each side. Or maybe like Deshaun Jackson said, have every player mic'd up to where that's your entertainment because there's no crowd. So I think that'd be pretty cool to have every player mic'd up. But maybe I'll make a video about that a little bit later. Thank you, 546. Like I said, go ahead. If you made it this far, hearing me just rambling about nothing, go ahead and hit subscribe. You obviously like hearing me talk. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, 546. I'm out.